We are queuing up to explore all things quirky. Joining me are the quick-witted Jason Manford. The quotable Sarah Millican. The quizzical Lisa Gola. And the total quirkaholic Alan Davis. Let's hear their buzzers. Jason goes. Quite quirky like that. Sarah goes.
Jazz.
Wow.
It's a migraine.
Yeah.
Nice.
It's jazz musicians in search of a tune. Louisa goes. Does anybody else feel like they're on the wrong medication today? And Alan goes. This first question is on the QT. What's the furthest anyone's ever gone for a brew?
Was it before or after refrigerators?
Oh, definitely before. Does that really help? Does that narrow it down?
No.
I mean, in terms of history, darling, I think there's a lot more before fridge.
Before fridge.
Before fridge. That's how they now do it.
Changed the world.
Yeah. Never mind about fridges.
Furthest for a cup of tea. Did they have one on the moon? Did they have one in the Apollo lander?
Not the moon, not quite as far as the moon, but high.
The tea is so... It's important, isn't it? It's in all different parts of life. All, you know, somebody's having a baby, I'll put the kettle on.
Yeah.
You know, your granddad's dying, I'll make a brew. You know what I mean? Like, it's just... It's everything.
Yeah, but it isn't just important to the British, it's important in other parts of the world. Where does it...
The Chinese.
Is it on a plane?
OK,
is there
you
like
can get tea on a plane, but it
Yeah.
wasn't...
No. Is there like a Boyle High Club?
Jason said China.
China.
Someone went to China...
Yes.
...to get some tea.
OK, so as far as we know, this is one of the highest tea shops in the world. There is a Buddhist and Taoist temple at the very top of Mount Hua and in the Qinglang Mountains, and the climb is treacherous to get up there.
Well, you need a brew.
The one on the right is,
Oh, wow.
is optional, but it involves crossing a section where you have to balance on these wooden
Is that how you
planks.
get down?
It's a 7,000-foot drop, darling, on the other side.
Wow.
Yeah. You can hire a safety harness if you want for $5, but its use is not enforced.
Right.
The tea is made from rainwater and mountain springs and snow melt that they gather. It's said to be absolutely
Surprised there's not a
delicious.
Costa up there. Open up across the road.
It's one of China's 5 great mountains. It's got 5 peaks that form the shape of a lotus flower, and each peak has a temple on it. I mean, it's beautiful, isn't it?
Wow.
It's amazing.
Yeah, it's astonishing.
But is it better than rooibos?
Oh, the South African tea, isn't it? Rooibos?
I'm so glad that you said it. I didn't know how to pronounce that.
Rooibos.
I've been calling it Ruby Booze for years.
I was 33, still ordering shit-ache mushrooms. So...
In 1952, so in the Second World War, the UK bought up the surplus tea from every country apart from Japan. Apparently, they were terrified it was going to be bad for morale if we ran out of tea. So their top purchases, in terms of weight, were bullets, then tea, then artillery shells, bombs and explosives. Who drank the very first cup of tea? What do you reckon?
Oh, a very long time ago. Probably in China.
Do you think before fridges?
Many years BF.
Yes.
4,000 BF.
Yes. you're absolutely right. It's China. Well, it's a Chinese legend. Who knows? It was a Chinese emperor in 2737 BC called Shen Nung, and he's sitting under a tree, and his servant was boiling some water, and some leaves, apparently from the tree, blew into the water, and he thought, I'll have that.
I'm not reboiling the kettle now.
It's boiled now. That ages to boil that up. And now the leaf's gone in.
And I was watching it.
So I'll fish it out or leave it? I'll leave it in.
I'll leave
a bit
it in.
stronger.
Yeah.
I think
So actually, if you go right back there, it is tea first. Milk.
Milk
Milk
second.
never.
Tea first. Milk?
Yeah. Putting milk in that. It's already got leaves in it.
So, how did they find out that you can have milk in a tea? Was he drinking tea and a cow just went past and like...
Eureka!
It's a milkmaid having a cup of tea. Don't want to dip the teat in, though, do you? No. Oh, listen to them all. The empathy with the udder there. Oh. Can you imagine your own udders going in?
I think it's fair to say you probably can't.
he had tea, then he had a pedicure.
Yes, he certainly looks like he needs very bad hammer toes.
Is that his arm? Oh, no, that's the scenery. Now I can see that. He's got two mountains on his head, Sandy. Who is this weirdo?
As long as he's got a little tea shop on one of them, though.
The story that I don't understand is the Buddhist tradition of how tea was first discovered. So, apparently, according to Buddhists, it grew from Buddha's eyelids. Buddha wanted to meditate for 9 years, and he kept falling asleep, right? Because 9 years, long time.
Yeah.
That's good meditation.
That's really good. And so, in frustration, he ripped off his eyelids and he threw them to the ground, and that's how the first tea plant grew.
Ripped off his eyelids?
Yeah.
That's extreme.
Just open your eyes.
Yeah.
I know.
And now there's just people whispering on YouTube, so you don't have to rip anything off. That's the new relaxation technique, isn't it?
Oh, that's the
Whisper at
weird...
you.
What is that called?
It's got a fancy name. Someone in here will know. There you go. They sort of whisper. Like some of them fold towels and.
Yeah, or pretend they're cutting your hair or something. Have you seen this?
No.
No, and that's because you've got better things to do, frankly.
You know, the mad thing is, it doesn't matter how many shows you've done, they'll have more views than all of us put together. It's unbelievable.
I'll start whispering myself. I can fold a towel.
Your next DVD should be whispered.
Hold on. Am I the only person who noticed that you said DVD?
I did say DVD, yeah.
Who uses DVDs?
Whoa!
What do you...
Unbelievable!
Everyone just glanced over that like that wasn't a crazy thing to say. Like,
Still you.
DVDs!
I'm still on VHS, though.
Yeah.
I played the cassette only yesterday, and you know what happened? It got stuck.
Do you remember when cassettes used to stretch if you played them for too long?
You get a little pencil inside.
What up?
Oh, it's good
those
time,
were the
good
days.
time.
Well, they get stuck. You'd be driving, and you'd pop one out while you're driving, and then the tape said, "Oh! This is my best tape! Don't pull it! I can't pull over, it's the M4! Get out! Get out with a pencil! Get out! Now wind it on! You know, come on, you're 4 years old, you can do this!
So, not DVDs, what would you just watch it on the...
Like I'm just saying, in the last 2 years, I don't remember like inserting a DVD in anywhere. So it's like it's just a crazy. It's like a crazy thing to say.
I'm just hoping there were a limited range of options of where.
Some DVDs I can't get out. One of Sarah's.
There's no sexual innuendo here. It's just a song.
Don't know why you're bothering then. Mount Hua gives a whole new meaning to high tea. What's even quainter than a model village?
A giant boy.
We used to go and see these things, right, as a family.
Still a thing?
My father would get his cine camera out, and then he would just film the model village. He wouldn't film his children. He'd film the model village, in which nothing happens, nothing moves.
Was it on Super 8 as well, so it sort of went like
Oh,
that.
yeah.
Don't
Then
mention
he'd set up a
Super 8 in front
projector,
of
set
him.
up a screen in the
Get
living
on
room,
you.
put all the lights out, pull the curtains, put it on, and we'd all sit there. Here's the holiday. He's just filmed the village. He's just filmed the model village. we were in Lyme Regis for a fortnight, and this is it.
Do you know about model villages, darling? Is that a thing?
I've never been to one, but full disclosure,
Yeah.
English is one of the languages I speak, so it's not the first. I speak it well.
Yes, no, it's, you and me both coming along. What's your first language?
Xhosa is my first language.
OK.
So, like, when you say words like quaint, I might have my own definition of the word quaint, which
Nice.
doesn't necessarily match yours.
OK, so...
Do you think a quaint is kind of old but cute?
Yes, like me.
I've had 5 DVDs out, so my career to you might be old and cute.
So our suggestion for the world's quaintest thing is the model village within a model village, within a model village, which is within the actual village of Burton on the Water. So if you look at those things in the background, those are part of the model village. Then you can see there's another model village, and then right there in the corner is an even smaller model village. It's like a village wormhole. It just kind of keeps going and going.
Man just doesn't want to go home. That's what it feels like. He's developed a hobby that is ridiculous because he hates his life.
I mean, it was built in the 1930s. It took forever. It's actually Grade 2 listed, the entire model village. And you could buy the whole thing with a life-size pub in 2018 for under £600,000 if you wanted. Yeah, I know. Who doesn't be suddenly thinking, oh, model village and a pub? But this is not the oldest model village example in the world. It's beaten by Beaconscott Model Village, which is 90 years old this year, 2019. Wow. It still has 15,000 visitors a month, and it's got the cutest miniature shops. So look at this. The greengrocer's is called Crispy Lettuce. I know, sweet shop, Ivor Cavities. My current favourite, the chemist, Hakes and Pains.
These are things you do when you've met all your basic needs as a human being.
Yes, this is...
I don't think people in Uganda are worried about this stuff.
Fair comment.
Anyway, there's another model village called Babbacombe Model Village. Have a look at this. This is a part of the model village that they just put in last year. So that's meant to be me, darling, on the right there.
Oh.
Tall, isn't it?
They very sweetly lent me.
Oh, wow.
Out of interest, any of you who've known me a long time, what's wrong with the model of me?
I've never seen you in a skirt.
Never seen me in a skirt, ever. No. I don't own a skirt. I appear to have ballet pumps on. This is not what a lesbian on television looks like.
That's like Britain squared. Like, that's unbelievably British.
That's extraordinary, isn't it? Anyway, my tits came out well. So... Now, who has type Q blood?
The Queen? No. Is it a trick?
It is
Is it an animal?
It is an animal, yes.
Can you
Q blood.
undo that bloody ringer then? No.
That's going to...
It's an animal.
It is an animal, darling.
Dog, rhino, giraffe.
Dog,
Dog, rhino.
So it's horses.
Oh.
I was close there.
Not really.
No, you won't. Dog, rhino, giraffe, no.
No.
If you put all them together, that's an horse.
So humans have 2 types of antigen. So that's the protein that can cause an allergic reaction. You can either have one or both or neither. So you could have A blood, B blood, AB, or type
I don't know
O.
anything about blood.
Horses have 7 different antigens, so they have 7 different blood groups. Type A and type Q are the most common. I don't know why they haven't done them alphabetically.
Yeah, why not A to G?
I don't know. Then there's C, D, J, P, and U. I've no idea what that's about.
Well, maybe that's the horse alphabet. Maybe that's how they do.
Oh. So where do we get horse blood from?
The inside of a horse.
No alarm for that. I was going to say that and I thought, that's a bloody bloody alarm. I'm not going to say it. You said it, no alarm.
No alarm because he was right.
Oh.
Yeah. So you can't store it in a blood bank. So the Royal Veterinary College at the University of London, they keep 4 horses on site, and their entire job is just to donate blood.
Do they get a cup of tea and a biscuit?
They do. They're currently called Miller, Darcy, Freddie and Sonny.
I remember when my daughter was born and we donated to...
You donated it?
Yeah, we donated it. I've got 5 kids, so like, someone else have this one.
No one for blood.
But you can donate the umbilical cord.
Yes.
Anthony Nolan, I think the charity's called, and they're like vampires. They're at the door, like, waiting. Have they had it yet? Have they had it yet? Have they had it yet? Well, like, we're busy having a baby, mate. I mean, I wasn't busy, obviously. I was playing Football Manager, but... It's worth doing.
The weirdest thing in terms of donating blood is the horseshoe crab, which is an extraordinary thing. It's massively important in the medical industry. There they are, the 4th oldest creature on Earth, the horseshoe crab. Whoa. But it has something really specific, a compound in the blood that's unbelievably important called Limulus ambosite lysate. And it's used by the medical and pharmaceutical industries to ensure that their products are free of bacterial contamination. Look at them, they're extracting blood there from the horseshoe crabs. And it costs upwards of $25,000 per quart because it is so important. So, horseshoe crabs have no immune system. So because they can't develop antibodies to fight infection, they contain a number of compounds that will inactivate bacteria and fungi and viruses and so on.
They look like they're at Yo Sushi. Which is ironic, being a crab.
Are they alive?
They are alive and then they are returned to...
Oh, are they? OK, that's nice. That's good. Or are you saying, like when my mum said the dog went to a farm? Is that... No, and then they return to the sea. Yeah, all right. Oh, good.
They just float away.
Just a little plaster, just here. What about dog and cat blood? I mean, it's really important that we have it. Apparently, the Royal Veterinary College runs donation sessions, and you can go along. And people do it, apparently, because maybe they didn't give blood themselves or they feel good about it. What about if you wanted to operate on a bird?
If I wanted to operate on a bird...
Well, I don't think you should do it. If one wanted to operate on a bird, where would you get bird blood?
Just like the windows of skyscrapers.
All around the bottom of a wind farm. That's the same noise as when the cow got its udder in the tea bag.
All bird blood is entirely interchangeable.
They could do it in flight.
It's a tube.
Just refuelling, yeah, refuelling.
So a robin could donate to an ostrich. What's the problem with that, though?
It'll take 45 robins.
Yeah, you need a lot.
It would take 6,000.
All right, there you go.
Is robin a bird?
OK.
No, he's a sidekick. He's a kind of a ward. Billionaire.
This one got started on tits.
Yeah.
Hey. I don't like this. You guys are having too much fun without me. So a robin is a bird?
Yeah.
I'm not, like, into birds, but when you say robin, my brain just goes, there's a human being who donates blood.
Ostriches.
Ostriches, yeah.
Yeah.
I just wanted to clear out the confusion.
Yeah. Oh, I'm here for you. It's OK.
Thank
it's all
you.
good. There was an Australian gentleman called James Harrison. He used to be known as the man with the golden arm. And he saved 2.4 million babies by giving blood nearly every week for 60 years.
Your shirt. It's got your...
Oh, yes. That's you in about 10 years.
10?
Did he always go to the same place to give blood, or did he travel? You know, the biscuits are different where you go. Do you know that? In Scotland, you get a tonics tea cake. Shut
Do
up.
you?
Yeah.
Is
Which
it worth...
an amazing biscuit. And
Yeah.
just to let you know.
Yeah. If you want to know anything about British biscuits, that's the woman for you.
So, yeah, I was always surprised the adverts. I was like, would you like to save a life? And I'm always like, yeah. The advert should just say, do you like biscuits? Do you fancy a sit-down? Do you like tea? I'm in.
I agree.
He was an amazing guy. So his blood contained disease-fighting antibodies which fight rhesus disease. That's when the blood of pregnant women attacks their unborn babies. He was awarded the Order of Australia, which is the country's highest honour, in 1999. And he made over 1,000 separate blood donations and saved 2.4 million babies.
Wow.
Wow.
Legend.
That's amazing.
Makes the rest of us look, you know, like we've done nothing.
Yeah.
I did it once and I was like, not again. Because
Why?
it's needles. I'm just scared of needles.
I just wait for one of my piles to pop and then I do it. I just like the noises. I like the noises.
Horses have type Q blood, but there's no chance they can share it with you.
It's like a panto.
I like it.
Oh, yes, it is.
Let me just explain what's happening here.
What the hell's going on? That's...
Have you been to a pantomime?
Oh, yeah, those things are horrendous.
Yeah.
I don't want to see 70s British people do weird things.
Well, that's pretty much it in a nutshell. So... Speaking of queues, what's the worst thing about being held in a queue?
Can I put something out that happened to me that's related to queues that I think I feel like I was a bad person for doing this, but I shouldn't feel.
What I love is that you asked my permission. Alan never bloody asks.
I'm in a new country. You guys are kicking people out. I don't know. So I was in Australia last year, and a friend of mine was suggested we go have some dim sum. So we get to the dim sum place, and there's a queue. And then someone who's pregnant comes, and then they all let her go to the front of the line. I'm like, no, you don't go to the front. It's for dim sum. You know what I mean? Am I a bad person for not letting a pregnant woman in the front of the line for dim sum?
Yes.
Yeah.
For dim sum?
Yeah.
OK, everybody votes. Let's vote. Is that a bad thing? Yes? Yes? Hands up.
For dim sum?
Do you think it's not a bad thing?
Who says it's not a bad thing?
Oh,
Men.
it's about 52-48.
But look, I mean, even in this queue here, that guy at the end clearly needs a poo. He's bought the... he's bought the roll. He's bent double, and he's still queuing.
Come on, please, can I go to the front? Please, can I go to the front?
Are you equating a woman who's pregnant with a man who needs a shit?
It's the closest we've got.
Let's talk about a different kind of queue. So when you are on the phone...
Oh, yeah.
What's the worst thing about that, do you reckon?
It's when the computer doesn't get your accent. I get that a lot.
I used to ring the Odeon film line.
Oh, yeah. I used to work for them. Be careful.
The Odeon film line to find out... This is going back, isn't it?
Yeah, that's the job I
Find
had.
out the times of the films. And
This
they'd
is even
say-
before DVDs.
Yes, before I'd say, which Odeon cinema are you interested in?
Yeah.
And I would say, Holloway.
Yeah.
And it would say, did you say Manchester? Every time!
That's exactly it.
No similarity between the two words. There's almost no letters that are the same.
Actually, that was just one of us. Bolton, did you say Baghdad?
Anyway, I can't stand the music. I can't stand when they play music.
Oh,
do you,
yeah.
when you're on the phone?
When I was a kid, they used to play Kenny G all the time. I literally thought Kenny G was on the other side helping me just...
So the thing I like about playing music on the telephone is the idea of it was discovered entirely by accident. So we're talking about the early 1960s, and there was a guy called Alfred Levy, and he discovered the whole thing by accident. His factory's phone lines developed a fault, and there was a loose wire touching a metal girder on the building, and it had turned it into a giant receiver, and audio being broadcast from a radio station next door was transmitted through the wire and could be heard on the calls which had been put on hold. And he took a patent out for the telephone hold program system, and it solved the problem of dead air. That's the bit people don't really like, is the bit where they don't really hear anything. Apparently, the worst hold music ever, there was a company in 2001 called Avaya, and they did a study in the UK. They found a clothing firm specialising in larger sizes was playing fat-bottomed girls. There was a mail-order company playing Hanging on the Telephone by Blondie. And a hospital played Chopin's Funeral March. I know.
Do they have the thing in Britain where they call you and they try to sell you stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
They call you and they say, we're ringing you about the accident that wasn't your fault. And I say to them, how did you hear about that?
Just stood in his own piss. This has literally just happened now. This is so weird.
Are you watching me? Are you watching me?
The other thing to do is, when they say is the accident that wasn't your fault, is to start weeping and going, it was me, and I knew you'd find out. I feel terrible.
I find the weirdest ones is even from your own bank when they ring you and they go, I just need to identify you. And you go, you rang me. Who are you, Barbara?
I had an agreement with my bank to only contact me by email because it was easier when I was on the road and stuff, and they rang me once to say if I still didn't want to be contacted on the phone.
Right. What is this not?
The Kipu.
Yes, I think they've slightly spoiled my display by naming it. Props, a tiny little detail.
The P45 being filled in at the moment.
On your way out, just be careful if you see a little elf with all its stuff. P45 in his hand. I thought I was being helpful.
Kipu. Anybody know where Kipu comes from?
African?
It is not.
Asian?
Are you going to go all the way around the world?
Yeah,
I'll just wait.
Is it European?
I'm going to say Machu Picchu to you.
Oh, Peru.
It is from the Inca people. And this is one we've made ourselves.
Or you put around your neck?
Well, here's the thing. We don't really know what it's for, but it is currently being deciphered. And it is possible that we're about to make us like a Rosetta Stone kind of breakthrough. So the Incas, they had the biggest empire in the Americas in the 15th century. Astonishing. And they had a really wide communication system, but it was long thought that they never learned to write, which seems astonishing, because when you're having something that complicated to organise, you'd think you would need to write things down.
Is that one of them? Because I've got a theory about the writing.
So there was a poet, a Spanish poet, Garcilaso de la Vega, in 1609, and he wrote about the Incas having an admirable method of counting everything in the Incas' kingdom, including all taxes and tributes, both paid and due, which they did with knots in strings of different colours. So initially thought to be just numerical information, but the new research suggests it may actually be a form of writing, and it may contain stories and songs and records. Because they all have different lengths, they all have different knots in them, they have different colours, and we just don't really know. Now, the Spanish recognised the importance of these quipus because they declared them satanic messages, and unfortunately they destroyed every example that they could find. But there is a professor of anthropology at St Andrews University, Sabine Hyland, and she's been studying them. She says they come in 14 colours, allow for 95 unique patterns, which is within the range of a writing system, and some quipus have as many as 1,500 strings.
It'd be great if you could learn it. You could pull out your earphones and be like, says banana.
There's a Harvard University anthropologist, and he discovered a Spanish census document from the 1670s, and it coincided with 6 quipus that he had in his database. And he found the Spanish document referred to 132 people, and there were 132 chords in the quipu. So it is possible if we can make the two things work together. Now, what is this woman queen of? She's called Frances Lockett of Hyde.
Hyde, in Manchester.
What, does that upset you?
No, I didn't know there was any royalty from
mill.
Manchester.
I've been to Manchester, there's loads of queens, darling.
It's all the better for it.
I know.
Absolutely.
Quite right. What do we reckon? She's a rather fine-looking woman, Frances Lockett.
It doesn't look like a very authentic crown.
Well, it's a really sweet thing, and I don't know if we shouldn't bring it back. So from the 1920s to the 1980s, there was a tradition of crowning queens of industry. So women chosen to represent British industries, and some of them had crown jewels. So Frances was Cotton Queen, and she was an actual weaver, so she had to know all about it. And the idea grew out of the May Queen traditions, so it was promoting British industry, obviously, but it was also hoping that the practice would give the workers something to celebrate. So this is an industry day.
Out to Paris for the day?
Out to Paris, yes. Great, isn't it? So the first railway queens were crowned in the 1920s, and then the idea it spread to other ones.
Brilliant.
And they weren't really beauty contests. So Frances Lockett, when she became Cotton Queen, she had to answer technical questions. She was a weaver, and she did really know about it. And then they had to go and open events and spread the word about the industry and so on. And American companies got involved as well. The Zion Meat Company, named Jean Courtney, their sausage queen, during National Hot Dog Week in 1955. So we've made crowns for you because I think you all deserve them. If you want to pop them on. Now, Sarah.
Yes.
You're from South Shields?
Yes.
Right, so glassware would seem
OK.
Entirely appropriate.
Well, people have been glassed there, so that's true, no?
Jason, cotton, obviously, cotton from Manchester.
Yeah, because we're just massive on growing cress in a dark room.
Yeah. Alan's got veggie sausages, which we thought was appropriate. And Louisa, do you know why you've got a centrifuge on your head?
This is what we wear at a football game in South Africa.
Oh, it's a centrifuge, which is a scientific thing, and this is terribly pleasing. 1.6% of all exports from South Africa are centrifuges. So we just thought we'd make a hat for you.
I don't even know what a centrifuge is.
But this is mine. You're going to help me.
Yeah, I need to come and help you.
Come and help me. So you may or may not know this, but I'm slightly passionate about model railways. In fact, I'm currently building one in my office at home. So
you're going to build a little mini one inside it?
Yes. So, darling, I think you have to hold it very flat, see if it'll work. But I was very pleased with the hat.
Hold on,
okay.
hang on, train, calm down.
Yeah, and we'll just see if it... So, hold the hat flat.
Whoa.
Well, thank you very much.
In South Africa, we wear this to a football game. It's like a helmet, and then we just paint it, and we call it a makarap.
A makarab?
A makarapa.
Makarapa.
Yeah, I thought that's what it was.
These are real. Can I have one?
They're all veggie, darling, so yes, you can help yourself. Eat your hat. Are you a veggie, darling? No.
No, but you're allowed to have them.
There was a railway queen called Janet Taylor. She once gave 8 speeches over a single weekend. The most extraordinary one, a woman called Audrey Mawson. She was a railway queen. She was sent to Russia in 1936 on a controversial peace trip to meet Joseph Stalin. Anyway, she was the second celebrity to switch on the Blackpool illuminations.
Oh.
I know.
Crikey.
I would love to do that.
When I went, it was, what's his name who sang I Am the One and Only? Chesney Hawkes.
Oh, wow.
He turned on the Blackpool lights and then he did One and Only. And then he finished it and he went, "Thank you, Blackpool." And we said, "Thank you," because we're polite. And he said, "Merry Christmas." We said, "Merry Christmas, Chesney." He says, "Do you want another song?" And 5,000 people went, "Have you got another one?"
Right, hats away, please.
Okay.
Thank you very much. Here's a question about quids. Why are goods more likely to be priced at 99p rather than rounded up to a quid?
Because it looks less.
It is one of the reasons. It's not the main reason.
When I used to... I had a job with a
How many jobs did you have, man?
Oh, I've had a... I mean, I'm still getting away with this one.
Says who?
When I was... yeah. Well, I used to work for a lovely, dear old man who's no longer with us, Mr. Patel, at a local
This is
shop.
like Graham Norton with the red chair, isn't it?
Yeah, sorry. I used to work for a lovely old man called Mr. Patel back when I was 16, and he had a corner shop, and everything was priced £4.23, £5.67, £8.54. And I always thought it was odd. And one day I said, why is it priced like this?
Yeah.
And he said, because it means that you have to go into the till to get change. So basically, he didn't trust me. He basically meant if it's a round number, someone could just give you a tenner and you could pocket that.
That is exactly the reason, darling.
Good old Mr. Patel.
Yes, yes.
Oh, really?
Even now with credit cards and...
Well, I mean, it used to be, not so much now, it's
Yeah.
all that contactless and so on, but in the 1870s, there was an American man called James Ritty, and he ran a saloon in Dayton, Ohio, and he noticed that some of the staff were actually pocketing money rather than putting it in the till. And then in 1878, he was travelling to Europe, and he noticed that the ship had a mechanism which counted the number of rotations made by the propellers. And he came home, his brother was a mechanic, and they built a counting machine that could track the number of transactions and so be aware if there were any inconsistencies. And they called this new machine Ritty's Incorruptible Cashier, and they sold it to what eventually became the National Cash Register Company, and they added a cash drawer and a bell, and every transaction had to be rung through, and if you were charging 0.99,
Wow.
it meant you had to go and get a penny change.
Can't believe I got that right.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm the lad on Slumdog Millionaire, and I'm like...
Also, that picture, is that me in 10 years?
But you were right as well, Sarah, because the fact is 9.99 does look less than £10,
Yes.
and that does play a part in it.
Because you read from the left.
Yeah, you read from the left. And 99p seems like a bargain. There was a wonderful story in the Evening Standard in 2014. They reported on a 99p shop in Barking in Essex, where everything was sold at 99p. They were trying to undercut the local pound shops. But Sam...
Genius.
I know, it gets better, though. Sam's 99p was then itself undercut when 97p knockout opened next door. And worse, promoted themselves with a sale where everything was 95p or less. Which brings us to the stranded bag of quavers on the end of a metal spiral that we call general ignorance. Fingers on buzzers, please. It's a lightning round after all. What does the scar on Harry Potter's head look like? Jason.
Lightning.
Lightning isn't a zigzag.
Yeah, it doesn't look like a classical lightning bolt at all. It happens so quickly, in fact, lightning, that our brains can't actually take it in. Even great artists have struggled to depict it accurately. There was a 19th century photographer from Philadelphia called William Nicholson Jennings, and he realised that lightning didn't look the way we have depicted it in paintings. And he took the world's first ever photograph of lightning on the 2nd of September, 1882, and it did look nothing like the lightning in paintings. Photographs of real lightning shows as many as 51 forks. On average, paintings only show just over 2 forks, and Harry's scar has only got 1. All we can say is that his scar looks like the International Organisation for Standardisation, ISO, the symbol for risk of electric shock. Yeah, anybody know what ISO stands for?
Just said it, didn't you?
Yes.
National Standards Organisation. I've been playing 17 years. I've been playing this game.
It's not an acronym. It's a reference to the Greek word isos, equal, chosen because the acronym would be different in every language. So it would be IOS in English, but it would be OIN in French, and the whole point of the organisation is to keep things standardised.
I feel like we've glazed over a couple of times when you've said that you speak... How many languages?
I speak about 5.
Five's like as many as we speak collectively.
No, it's 4 more than me.
4 easily. 5 more than me.
What did you grow up speaking, then? What is it?
I grew up speaking Xhosa.
Does it have clicking in it?
Yeah, like if you greet me in Xhosa, like one of my responses could be ngumqabaqaba, qabule vinika, qaga nqale, oqaqanjelwa ngumqolo, ngumqabelo, ndaqonda kogqirha ugqirha uthi manqanqe ngomqolo. Xa ndinqanqe ngomqolo ugqirha ubhaqa iqhakuva qha.
How beautiful is that?
It is a bit like...
To find out what he said before.
Yeah, no, that's that.
It's a bit weird, like, because it's my language, so when you clap, it's like...
I know, it's odd, isn't it?
No, but it sounds so
very
beautiful.
good, very good.
What would happen if you drank your pint through a straw?
You get punched in the face by the rest of the people in the pub.
You get drunk quicker.
I like the way they've shown us how to say it properly.
Yes.
Get drunk more quickly.
Yes. But people do think that, Sarah. It is a thing, isn't it? Probably it's just that anybody drinking alcohol through a straw is already in the mood to drink quite a lot of alcohol. People used to think you create a vacuum inside the straw that causes the alcohol to evaporate. Another explanation, it could be that because you're too busy sucking the drink and the lack of oxygen can make you feel giddy.
Could it also be because you're getting it all in your mouth?
Yeah, all of it.
That'll be it.
But neither of those explanations really works. How drunk you feel is entirely down to how much alcohol is in your system. It doesn't actually matter how it gets there. Now, what are the best pants to wear if you want to have a baby? I'm looking at you, Jason.
2 people went, none. Both women.
Talking about boys.
Oh, well, I guess he'll want, like, baggier sort of boxers
Sperm-growing
rather
pants.
than tight.
Now say tight ones, say tight ones.
Tight ones?
They should just be Jason's pants, because he'd keep having babies.
That's so true. Long been thought that tight underpants might be bad for fertility. So the idea was if you warm up a man's testicles, the sperm might be of lower quality. But the difference in temperature, about 1 degree centigrade, not enough to damage sperm.
Can I ask how you do damage sperm? Have you got... Wait. Do you have any...
Really small hammer. Lots of myths about conception. So, a man's sperm has always been thought of as being in some kind of Olympic-style race to the egg, you know, where the strongest swimmer wins. Actually, as long as the sperm is not damaged or deformed. Which of the 250 million sperm reaches the egg is a total lottery. It's not to do with which one is the strongest swimmer.
Oh, right.
And it's not necessarily better for conception that men have a high sperm count. Men with very high sperm counts can struggle to conceive as more than one sperm can fertilise the egg.
Also, you get a bit of a bottleneck. Whereas if you just fire out one good sperm. Go on, John.
Is that your love talk? Go on, John. And that's the end of our walk on the quirky side. This week's winner, with -8, it's Liso. In second place, with -18, it's Sarah. In third place.
You threw me under the bus, you. I had that Mr. Patel thing, I was pissing it.
In third place, with -20, it's Alan.
Unbelievable.
Which means... in last place, with -26, it's Jason. To Louisa, Sarah, Jason and Alan. Finally, I leave you with this quirky quote from American comedian Mitch Hedberg. I want to hang a map of the world in my house. Then I'm going to put pins into all the locations that I've travelled to. But first, I'm going to have to travel to the top 2 corners of the map so it won't fall down.